After competing at its first ever outing in February, my 150-gram combat robot, Yellow and Dangerous, was slated to compete again at WRC in April. But before we can do that, there are a few improvements we can make. At the last event, the printed bearing retainer to support the shaft of the weapon motor just wasn't staying on. After some conversation with other builders, I was introduced to bushings and decided to press fit one into the carbon fiber frame. Additionally, our drive system was incredibly slow and super unresponsive to all but the largest movements on the sticks. I figured this was the gears of the drive motors rubbing against the TPU. Other than that, the grade 5 titanium blade tip was a far cry from the perfect edge left by the mill. The weapon seemed balanced enough, so the motor phase wires were swapped to reverse the direction of the weapon and use the fresh side of the tooth. Some new carbon fiber panels were needed, as Subdivide had well and truly mangled the first ones. James again machined both the bushing and the new carbon fiber panels. With this single improvement and a few soldering mishaps, we were off to the event. This event also had trophies for the first time. Our first fight was against 92. As you may remember from the grudge match in the previous video, 92 had originally been a non-destructive flipper. Given it was still in one piece after the grudge match, it had now been upgraded with some titanium armor below the TPU and entered into the destructives.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, stop, I see a battery. That's it, Yellow and Dangerous wins.
Similar to the last event, a good quick win to start off. I ended up peeling the TPU, ejecting the titanium armor plate beneath and the battery in one hit. Since exposed batteries pose a fire hazard, 92 was automatically knocked out. Next fight was up against another big horizontal in the form of Shebang. Shebang has a hardened steel blade, which is much harder than my titanium. Their blade also has a full centimeter of extra weapon diameter, so a 5mm reach advantage, not accounting for motor size.
Yep, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, when you move, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh!
Push it in. Go backwards. Backwards. And you move. Forget the move. Oh! Get in.
Getting stuck almost immediately, I lurked around to see if he was able to get down. After some good exchanges, my weapon motor got smacked in the can and shattered the magnets inside, locking up the weapon. My only hope after that was the pit. Thankfully, as I wasn't spinning my weapon, it couldn't detract from my speed, so I danced around the pit, hoping to act as bait. While we took a break for lunch, I was scrambling to repair the motor. Removing the shattered magnets didn't fix it, as the can had bent enough where it was rubbing on the stator anyway. With that being my only weapon motor, it's safe to say I was getting fairly stressed. Thankfully, the wonderful community that is combat robotics shows itself again, as I was given a spare motor from another competitor. With only a few minutes before the next fight, the weapon was percussively removed and attached to the new motor with 5-minute epoxy. The third round-robin fight was up against Dooby. Dooby is a vertical spinner, the first we've faced, and I was keen but apprehensive to see how the motor swap would work out.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go!
Can you spin yourself out?
I was going to get the thing.
That's so unfortunate.
Unfortunately, the new motor was a cheaper one, and while bouncing myself up onto the edge of the out corner, another magnet broke within it. If the weapon had continued to work, I might have been able to get myself off with the startup torque. However, wanting to have as much time for repairs, I tapped out. Removing the single cracked magnet seemed to work, and the motor still spun up, just at a lower efficiency, so it was on to the fourth and final round-robin fight against MGO. MGO was a new robot by the same builder as 92, and seemed like I was in for another fun fight.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh!
Nine, 8, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
MGO's vertical spinner was able to lift the entire can off the stator and cocked it at an angle. Still driving around, I continued to try to show aggression until my opponent experienced a rapid and unscheduled disassembly and couldn't display movement. This lucky win brought Yellow and Dangerous to a fight record of 3 wins and 1 loss, and was seeded first, sufficiently making it into the top 8 for finals, with any loss here on out eliminating me from the tournament. It's probably useful to say here that in every fight before this, I've never gone to 100% weapon throttle, and have generally been keeping at or below 50. Being unable to afford a loss, I started going up to 75 and even full power for these matches. Our quarterfinal fight was up against a very sturdy angled overhead bar spinner, Mr. Obvious. Team Obviously Robotics is also active on YouTube, and I'm using their footage for this fight.
Starting the quarter-final fight in 3, 2, 1, go! Go for it.
Oh. Weapon out straight away?
Weapon down.
Ooh!
That's okay, just use it away. Keep your legs facing the basket like that. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, they lost it.
Oh, you lost the wheel.
That's not
Go forward back,
for
forward
myself.
back, forward back. Is it obvious? Are you still moving? Yes.
Oh, they're both gone.
Alright, I'm going to count out.
Why you gotta keep it like this?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
That's what I'm talking about. I got to eat some wheels, and the magnets are still intact. I was able to battle harden them with epoxy beforehand, so that might have been what helped. Semi-finals were up against MGO again. At this point, I'd realized that the reason the can had lifted in the last fight was because this motor didn't have a circlip on the bottom. Given this, I decided to start upside down, so the vertical hits would be pressing the can further into the stator rather than off it.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, he's working pretty well. There you go.
There we go.
Just don't break.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's not completely. Feed the weapon into it to break it. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yellow and Dangerous moves on to the finals.
Spinning the other way, combined with that higher weapon throttle, seemed to make a real difference, as I was able to cripple someone else's motor for a change, and basically chased him around the arena from there. After I'd done some damage, I reduced weapon throttle, since I would probably win a judge's decision if it were to come to that, so there was no sense in risking my own weapon and yet another magnet. It's around here that it struck me just exactly what was happening. I'd been pretty stressed the whole day with the motor magnets, and I hadn't actually had a chance to stop and think. I was in the finals. Oh, and who was my opponent? None other than Shebang. Preparing for this fight, I considered what had actually happened last time. He smacked the outside of the magnet ring, causing them to shatter. Fortunately, when mounting the blade to the replacement motor, I'd covered more of the ring with the weapon itself. Combined with that, Shebang's blade was higher than mine, meaning that reach advantage meant he could actually reach my motor before I could reach him, as we have discovered. To counter this, I could start the fight upside down, so that the exposed bits of motor he would be hitting wouldn't actually matter.
Finals in 3, 2, 1, go.
That wheel's not turning.
That's scary. That's very scary.
Oh, nice. You did that on purpose. Oh.
30 seconds till the pit stops.
I won? That was unexpected. Everything seemed to work, although driving is still a pain. Taking it slower and looking for opportunities definitely paid off. This was a massive improvement for my second ever event with my first ever robot, and I'm very thankful for the replacement motor. As a bonus, this one doesn't even clash with the color scheme like the red one did. I'll be sure to have spare motors for next time, but I really think the drive speed needs improvements, and maybe a full redesign, to maximize my bite and driving even more. All that was left for the day was the rumble, where I lost another magnet, this time in a drive motor, bringing the final count of shattered magnets to 5 in one day. Until next time.
3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, big guy.
What was that? Is your weapon out?